Came across this video while doing a dive into conspiracy slop TikTok, but it's really only the tip of the iceberg. It got so much worse.
What? What in the alien goddamn hell is this? Hi. My name is Master Sky, and today we'll be watching Miniminuteman. Today, the secret word is spooky. Leave a comment with the word spooky, and as usual, I'll give your comment a heart. Before we begin, please, guys, for me, subscribe to the channel and stick around to the end of the video, because if you don't, I will bite you.
If you grew up exploring old cemeteries, you've probably noticed one of these. A single vault that stands out from the others. Sometimes they're super elaborate, or built into a hillside. Come in many forms, but there's always normally larger than all the others, so I just always assumed that they were the tomb of a wealthy family. But their true purpose is much more bizarre. It's called a receiving vault, and it's a pretty ingenious solution to a problem that we've almost completely forgotten about. Death in colonial America was obviously a problem, but it was a real problem if it happened in the winter, because the ground was frozen solid. So since you couldn't bury the body, you had to store it somewhere until the ground thawed.
That is horrifying!
Essentially,
it's
a
a
giant
morgue
refrigerator to store bodies until the ground had thawed enough to bury them.
It's way worse!
As well, though. From storing remains while funerary arrangements were made, to overflow storage in epidemics when people were dying faster than graves could be dug. Looking at this and imagining how many stories ended passing through this doorway makes them more creepy to me than any burial vault. So keep your eyes peeled on your next cemetery walk and make sure
I will not!
If you think weird stuff is as cool as I do, sauce me a follow for more, and share this with your graveyard exploring buddy. If you grew
Graveyard exploring buddy? Nuh-uh! You're not fooling me! That's where John Pigging lives! All that's missing is a sign that says free hugs. You're not fooling me! I am the one who knocks! It's a pig or get pegged world out there. If you want to clap more cheeks, you gotta get clapped. I actually once had a spooky encounter in the woods just like this. Stick around to the end of the video if you want to hear that story.
I love a good clickbait science post as much as the next guy. But this video is a great example of how making a post about real science look like this can do a lot more harm than good.
Scientists have found a hidden prehistoric world beneath Antarctica in the time of Revelation, and Revelation means
well, that's probably true, but it's probably like bacteria.
Reveal. Don't say Antarctica just so ice. I don't know ice. There are like tropical parts of Antarctica where there are volcanoes at. As soon as I saw this shit, I dove deep. If you don't know who Billy Carson is,
I know who Billy Carson is. He's a complete conspiracy wingnut.
Okay, we're just going to... Okay. Man, poor Billy Carson.
Proof that the thing about diving deep was just a complete lie, because that's not even close to what this is saying. That's more the fault of this post because it's literally setting people up for failure. It's talking about this study from 2023, where scientists use remote sensing to see through Antarctic ice. They found remains of plateaus and rivers and valleys that have been buried underneath this sheet of ice for 30 million years. The other irresponsible thing about this post is showing this forest, and is leading this person to say the same thing that all these conspiracy theorists say about
who's like, are you guys falling for this? Like, we see something like this, we know it's clickbait, right?
Lost hidden jungle in Antarctica. All of that comes from a misunderstanding that Antarctica used to have a tropical environment up till around 50 million years ago, because the climate was much warmer and the continent itself was literally farther towards the equator.
Do people live in Antarctica? One of you guys watching this from it, I have no idea.
All that gets crunched together in this post. It falls into the hands of someone who's a victim of pseudoscience, and they turn it into a video that gets 4.5 million views.
Oh my god, that's just TikTok!
Matter what the actual fact is here, because the comments are filled with people talking about how it's the Garden of Eden and how scientists have been hiding it from them. Science communication is important, but bad science communication can do catastrophic damage. If you think science is as important as I do, you should sauce me a follow for more. And
can I just say that Miniminuteman, he kinda looks like the Giga Chat meme, goddamn.
This with a friend to ruin their day.
Yeah, my day's ruined. I will never sleep again.
Glacier jump scare. You ever ask yourself what happened here? Was all this underwater or something? How did it get—
Where is this? This is not— I thought this was South America. This is not South America.
That much ice. It's good thinking, but not quite. The glaciers aren't really made out of like the ice cubes that you have in your freezer. They're actually made out of snow. They develop in places where snow accumulates faster than it melts. You've probably seen a snowstorm before. They can be pretty intense. Now I want you to imagine—
I have never experienced snow! I really want to touch snow.
If that snow just never melted, year after year, it just keeps piling up. As these layers build, it starts to get really heavy.
Are snowflakes really like that freaking pattern? Because there's no way, right? It's just a ball, a fluffy ball. There's no way snowflakes are that very intricate pattern. I don't believe it.
This causes the layers of snow at the bottom to start to compress, ultimately being literally squeezed into a sheet of ice.
Whoa.
Put into perspective what these layers added up to, the Laurentide ice sheet was more than a mile thick in some places. It was so unbelievably heavy that it literally compressed the crust of the earth underneath it, and there are parts of North America where the crust is still rising in a process known as isostatic rebound. Since these are made from frozen atmospheric water rather than just surface water, as the layers compress, it also preserves tiny little bubbles of air from the exact...
This is way too complicated for my singular brain cell
day that the snow fell,
that I
which is
borrowed
how scientists are able to use ice
for this
to learn
video.
about our past climates. If you also get excited about weird stuff like this, you should sauce me a follow for more. And send this to your friends so I can hit them with the classic. Boo, Glaze.
I don't... What was this about? Someone explain it to me.
You can beat a dead horse to water.
Ah! Oh, that's a horse? Huh, I guess it is.
Can't look him in the mouth. While that may be true, it's even harder to figure out the color of a dead horse. So how do we know the colors of extinct horses?
We
the Northern
don't.
Hemisphere used to have a ton of native horse species, but they had a really bad time once humans showed up and introduced them to their mortal
Yeah,
enemy,
that's humans ruining things, god damn it.
the sharp stick. And so nearly every species of horse was hunted to complete extinction. While our ancestors left us with an awful lot of
Really?
horse bones, they also left us with something else. A ton of cave paintings. What's
Whoa.
really amazing about these paintings is that they're not just artistic representations. And modern genetic research suggests that these paintings show accurate colors and patterns of these long extinct horses. But this one is probably the most strange example. This one's called the dappled horse, and it's from a cave in France. This is a pretty unusual pattern for a horse, so for a long time archaeologists
That's
thought it
a
might be an
zebra.
artistic representation. But genetic evidence has shown that this is an accurate representation, that some of these ancient horses actually came in this black and white leopard print, an
Really?
adaptation seen in other animals that helps them blend in snowy forested
Lion cat.
environments. But this is probably the
I
most
could
haunting
1v1
part.
that thing.
Nearly every single wild horse in the world today is a feral descendant of domestic horses. But there is a single wild horse species left in the world that was never domesticated. It's called Przewalski's horse, and it looks like this.
Oh, that's a donkey eat-all. I love
Around
it.
2,000 of them left in the world, and their similarity to those ancient paintings is striking. It kind of gives me chills to think that here I'm looking at the last of its kind, and almost the same thing that our ancestors were looking at when they made these paintings more than 25,000 years ago.
That's
If you think this
insane.
stuff is as cool as I do, you should sauce me a follow for more. Send this-
I've like been to like whatchamacallit, places where they like paint on the walls in like caves and stuff as like historical mumbo jumbos. Can you imagine what it's like to live like that? Living in a cave, like a deep dark cave, hunting for food. Oh my god, it sounds kind of fun.
The Earth is a giant water balloon, and I can prove it.
There's no Logan Paul in the forest, and even if there is, we can hunt him because there's no laws. Don't say that, Sky.
A meteor crater in Arizona, and this is a meteor crater on the moon. Now look at them next to each other. Do you see
Interesting.
something strange here? That one is a mountain
Yeah, why is the one on the moon have like, the center is like protruding like a nipple?
in the middle of it. So what is that?
You guys see a
mountain?
boob?
It's right in the middle of the crater, so maybe it's the meteor. That's what I always thought as well, but it turns out it's actually something that is even more bizarre. Two different kinds of craters, the simple crater and the complex crater. This is kind of your stereotypical smooth one with a rim, and this is the weird one with the mountain in the middle. And you'll notice from this scale bar that this one is 10 times the size of this one.
It is? Wait, huh?
Simple craters are formed by a small impact, while complex craters are formed by a large...
Where do we get these images? I mean, okay, I know the one from the moon we have because it's the moon. But do we actually have craters here on Earth?
Yes!
I want to visit a crater.
impact. And that's why
That's
these ones
so
have
cool.
a mountain. You can imagine a simple crater sort of like a bullet striking
Whoa.
a metal surface. The two brittle surfaces collide and leave behind a pit. But when you're dealing with impactors that are miles in diameter,
There's something about space that just, I don't know, it just piques my interest. It's like a sense of wonder.
and moving at tens of thousands of miles per hour, all of that gets thrown out the window. Instead of a bullet hitting a piece of metal, it's more like throwing a rock in water.
Whoa!
Immense energy from these impacts causes the normally brittle ground to become
Yeah,
like a
like
plastic.
liquid,
As
yeah,
all that material
goopy.
collapses back in on itself, it
The consistency of cum.
flattens, and this splash is left behind in the middle in the form of a peak ring. Even though it's buried, you can see it here in the impact that killed the dinosaurs.
That's so weird. Our understanding of physics changes once we leave Earth, and it gets even worse the further out into space you go.
Frozen relic of an incomprehensible moment that the Earth was something between a solid and a liquid. If you like weird stuff like this, you should sauce me a follow for more. And share this with a friend to tell them.
Oh yeah, I'm saucing, alright. I'm saucing. I'm manning my minute so hard right now.
I can't tell you how this will affect our shareholders, but I can tell you about the world's largest meteor crater. Oh, it's that one that killed the dinosaurs, right? The Chicxulub crater is large, but it's not the largest.
How much to go there? I want to go inside of a meteorite.
That title would go to this, the Fridafort impact structure in South Africa. The reason it doesn't look like too much is because this thing is more than 2 billion years old. It's so old that you're not even really looking at much of a crater. Instead,
I'm going to South Africa.
At a weathered cross-section of the fractured rock underneath where the crater was. I know what all you guys are thinking. How big is it? Personal question, but you asked nicely, so I'll tell you. Conservative estimate
16 inches. Oh, we're talking about the meteorite, right?
Placed the impactor at around 7 or 8 miles in diameter, while more recent studies have suggested that it was all the way up to 15 miles in diameter. And the shatter structures found at this site suggest that when it made impact, it was traveling at more than 50,000.
The scale of the universe is just... It's something we can't even behold.
Miles an hour.
We cannot hold it.
Suggested that the crater it formed was around 120 miles in diameter, just a little larger than Chicxulub. There's evidence to suggest that the crater it formed could have been up to 200 miles in diameter. New York for reference, I'm from Boston, I had to do it to him. And it's amazing to think that this crater has borne silent witness to the last 2 billion years of Earth's history. If you also get excited about weird stuff like this, you should sauce me a follow for more. And share this.
Imagine a meteorite strike like in this day and age. That would be like, oh my god.
To drop a meteor on New York.
No! What about New York? Quick, name something good about New York. The Statue of Liberty.
Finding a conspiracy video where the person in it debunks themselves is one of life's little pleasures. It's like a clean towel or a fresh oyster. See if you can spot the contradiction in this clip.
This sarcophagus is said to have been discarded in ancient times because it's a cut that's about 3 feet long that was just ever so slightly off-center. So here's why this doesn't make any sense. If they used copper saws, they probably would have realized they were off-center long before getting 3 feet into the cut, which tells me that whatever tool the ancient Egyptians used had to have been operating at a much faster rate.
Probably heard this one because conspiracy slop accounts repeat it constantly. The fact that none of them seem to notice that it completely contradicts the point they're trying to make is proof to me that conspiracy theorists are the real sheep. The claim is that the
I'm pretty sure I'm the sheep. My ADHD brain was thinking of sheep. I was so lost.
The ancient Egyptians had
How did I get this far in life without, like, imploding? I don't know.
Sort of advanced cutting technology. The proof being how would they have gotten this far into this cut on this unfinished sarcophagus if they were using a copper saw? This is all stupid for several
reasons. There's no way a saw can cut through rock. We have no idea
why this sarcophagus is actually unfinished. Conspiracy theorists will tell you that it's because of this cut, but we have absolutely no proof of that whatsoever. These were massive, expensive projects. It's like attributing an unfinished construction project to someone cutting wood to the wrong length. 2, it's not actually off the line. You got what, like 1/3 of an inch of drop over those 3 feet? And that brings me to point 3, the most important one that I cannot fathom how these people don't see. But this is actually evidence that they didn't have advanced cutting technology. Because if they had fucking power tools, they could finish this cut in like a minute. By the time they put this thing down...
What power tools cut through like concrete? That's insane.
They'd already put hundreds of man-hours into it. Even has the audacity to show an image of an Egyptian using a copper saw in his video. Now, I'm not saying that this would have been easy, but what I am saying is that people who think ancient cultures needed power tools to achieve these things have soft hands. This video is like way longer, and I found it while
I got really soft hands. I got them animator hands. So excuse me for my stupidness. I am so sorry.
A deep dive into the horrible world of TikTok conspiracy slop, which I just made a whole YouTube video on. So if something like this cracks you up as much as it does me, you should come check.
Is that freaking Fortnite? No, it's not.
Check it out. YouTube channel Miniminuteman. We're almost at 3 mil. See you there.
Finding a let me know if you guys want me to react to that. That could be fun.
Y'all ever watch a video of a creator giving like a fun fact, and at the end of it, something just doesn't sit right with you and you can't quite put your finger on it? I think this video is the most perfect example of that, and I'm gonna explain why.
Rongo Ongo tablets in Easter Island.
Rongo Ongo tablets! Something ain't right, I found it!
Have scriptures hinting at ancient civilizations that people have just completely forgotten about.
The thing she's talking about here is this writing system called Rongo Rongo. It's
Rongo
Easter Island or Rapa Nui.
Rongo.
You know it? It's the place with the big...
Meme Rock! You have Uno! It came free with your Xbox!
And it's true that it hasn't been deciphered yet, but that's not really the point here. What was that thing that she said right after that?
Hinting at ancient civilizations that people have just completely forgotten about.
I am just... Why is there stickers on your face?
Rongo Rongo is the script of the Rapa Nui people, and not only have the Rapa Nui people not been forgotten, the Rapa Nui people still exist. It was their ancestors that created this language, and the reason it's so hard to translate is because it's one of only a few places in the world where writing arose in a vacuum with no external influence.
Ooh!
Not only does it have no
So basically the British wasn't there.
The Rapa Nui read and wrote in this script up until the 1800s, which is when the Rapa Nui were brutally colonized, enslaved, and massacred. During that colonization, hundreds
By who? By who? Cause I think I know the answer. Spot of tea! Give us your country.
Of these tablets were lost and destroyed, and everyone with the ability to read it was forgotten about. There's only about 30 of these tablets even left in existence, and they're either in museums or private collections. And not a single one is in the hands of the people whose ancestors created them. Phrasing this story in this way is just so weird and irresponsible. Now, I know she's not trying to cause any harm here. She's just regurgitating something she heard someone else say. But it's a perfect example of how if you're a creator with a large account and you claim to educate people, you have an obligation to educate yourself first. Came across this video while doing
I think you have a responsibility to educate yourself first. But the thing is, it's TikTok. No one's gonna do that. That's why I don't use the tick of the talk.
To conspiracy slop TikTok, and it's really only the tip of the iceberg. It got so much worse, which I just had to make a whole YouTube video about. So
I'm sorry. What in the alien goddamn hell is this?
The iceberg. It got so much worse, which I just had to make a whole YouTube video about. So if this stuff pisses you off as much as it does me, you should come check it out. YouTube channel, Miniminuteman. Look at that, we're almost at 3 mil. See you there.
That could be a really, really fun video.
Hey, check out this stick. Is a sentence that should always be said very slowly. Since you're here checking out.
Hey, check out my stick. Oh, the stick. I'm sorry. What?
Out this stick, I hear you ask yourself, is that the oldest stick in the world? You know your way around a stick, I respect that. It's actually one of 10, and these aren't just any sticks, they are the old-
On the one like next to the silver one looks like Melania's hand, oh my god.
Spears in the world. And the things that they tell us are truly insane. They were found at a site in modern Germany and date back-
I'm a simple man. If I see a stick that looks like a sword, it make me happy.
Between 300,000 and 400,000 years, meaning that these spears weren't even made by our species. Either made by Neanderthals, or these guys, Homo heidelbergensis.
Wait. Neanderthals are still like ape, human. Huh? I don't know how it works. Odd, like, the bipedal monkey is still part of the human species. Huh? If we evolved from monkey, why are they still monkey?
These guys, like, they were just a bunch of primitives, right? But these spears beg to differ. All but one of these were made out of young spruce trees. The points on all the spears was made from the base of the tree where the heartwood is the hardest. They would even offset the soft pith from the point of the spear. They even put effort into aerodynamics by tapering the ends of the spear and keeping the center of mass around the front third like a modern javelin. And modern experimental archaeology has shown that these things can fly more than 60 feet. And the piles of butchered animal bones found alongside tell us that these weren't just sharp sticks. They were sophisticated, technical, and lethal weapons
Sophisticated, technical, and lethal weapons. Alright, let's calm down there. Because I'm pretty sure if we were to create one of these scenes, it goes something like this. Me throw stick, me throw, me kill rabbit, unga bunga, me eat bone. I don't think sophisticated and technical was the right term.
Created by our distant ancestors who walked the earth more than 300,000 years ago. You also get excited about weird stuff like this. Sauce me a follow because I got plenty more. And share this with a friend.
I'm sourcing so hard right now. I've never sourced this hard in my life.
I know the question that keeps you up.
Ooh, pterodon.
Tonight.
I played Ark Survival Evolved. I know my dinosaurs.
Is the rarest fossil in the world? Is it this guy's feathers? Is it this guy's skin? All valid answers, but I have another one for you to consider.
That's the freaking magma worm. Oh, a trilobite. That other one was the freaking magma worm from Elden Ring. Tell me you see it too.
Valid answers, but I have another one for
Oh, it's an
to consider.
Dinosaur.
This is the rarest fossil in the world. It's a trilobite from a fossil bed in New York State. A couple things about this that are absolutely insane. Most obviously, it's gold. When something fossilizes, its body is replaced with minerals. And in this case, that mineral is iron pyrite or fool's gold.
Wow, wait, so it's a golden fossil. That is one of the coolest things I've ever heard.
It's a rare process called pyritization. Not to be confused with pyritization, which is when a fossil turns into a pirate. It happens more often than you'd think. But here's the part that's really insane. Most trilobite fossils kind of just look like this. They might look pretty similar, but these are just the shell, and all of their soft tissues decomposed before they could fossilize. But this one is almost 100% preserved. It has its legs, it has its antennas, it has its...
I was about to ask, why is the antenna still there? How did that happen?
Gills. Other examples from this fossil bed show their little bellies, including their little mouth parts and even their eggs. I can't even express how rare it is to get the conditions just right for something like this to happen.
And it's made of gold!
And dating back 450 million years, we lived closer to these dinosaurs than these dinosaurs did to this. You get as excited about weird stuff like this as I do, you should sauce me a follow, because there's a lot more like it.
Oh, I'm saucing already.
Been asking themselves that age-old question.
Hell yeah. When I was a kid, me and my entire extended family would go on this yearly hiking trip. A literal 3 to 4 hour hike. And on one day, when we reached the top, the clouds started to settle in. And because we were so high up, we were literally inside of the cloud. And we couldn't see a goddamn thing. So we walked down, keeping close to each other, in complete silence. And we could just hear the wolves howling in the distance. And before we could leave the mist, something snuck up from behind, sneaking from the shadows, waiting for one of us to get left behind until one dumbass kid, whose name probably rhymed with pie, stopped to pick up a stick because his ADHD brain thought it looked like a sword. And then the shadowy figure leaped. It was my dad. And so I struck him down with a stick. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more of Miniminuteman, then please let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.